On this episode, Hala, content creator, brand ambassador, and host Hala Maroc stops by. Let's go. So what is that?
So this is a nostalgic product.
40. I remember 40s.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So do I. And so does everybody. This is, but this is a kind of... So actually, okay, this is one of my clients, first of all. Okay. Disclaimer.
Plug.
Right. Shameless plug. But so a few weeks ago, they had I guess they went viral for gentrification.
Oh, okay.
Right. And the whole argument, though, from their side, because they're white. Well, he's not really white. It's shout out to Theo Rossi. He's an actor. Mm-hmm. He's been in like Marvel, Luke Cage, all that stuff. But he's not really white. He looks white.
Okay.
But he's not. So, but yeah, so that was the argument. But the whole point, his point was like everybody was drinking 40s at the point. It wasn't just black people. It was everybody. Like.
From the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Even till now, really, college, everybody's drinking already.
I don't know about that. But I like the fact of bringing something from, that was nostalgic from the past to the present, and instead of malt liquor, is water.
Yeah, at least we're doing something healthy with it.
Doing something for the cause.
For the culture.
So you are a millennial, right? I know supposedly.
I have an old
There's always been this debate about millennials versus, I'm Generation X, I assume.
Right.
And just that friction, whether it's about something that's been on TV, whether it's Joe Budden and Lil Yachty, the Migos, so it's kind of like this thing where, we're at odds for whatever reason. I don't even really understand why.
Right.
Where the friction comes from.
Right. Well, the first example you gave, I think, literally sums it up. Like, you should probably play the clip, like, right now. but, like, it pretty much sums up the whole argument of Millennial versus X, right?
Right.
The whole, I don't know if you actually saw it, but the Joe Budden versus Lil Yachty when he interviewed him in Everyday Struggle.
Yeah, I saw
where literally, Joe Budden's argument was like, yes, you have all this following and you're getting all this money and stuff, but you really need to understand where hip hop came from and the culture and all that stuff. And he just went off and off and off and just threw all this information at him. And Lil Yachty was just like, my nigga, chill.
I'm just making this money, son.
I'm just having fun.
Right.
And I feel like I teeter-totter in between both of those concepts. Like, yes, we are just having fun.
Right.
At the end of the day, I feel like we took, like, the internet, as we know it, created an even playing field for everybody.
Right.
And we all, at least Millennials and Generation X, were kind of presented to it in different parts of their life, but at the same time, And the good things about it was that it like I said, it gave you an even playing field. But then the bad thing about it was that,
like we talked about, everybody that's on the field shouldn't be playing. In basketball, there's people that's playing on the field, there's people that's on the bench, and there's some people in the stands.
Watching.
Imagine if everybody was on the field. It'd be crowded and it'd be chaos, which is what it is.
But it would also, we wouldn't be watching LeBron every year. We would be watching a new person. But they would have a different skill set. And now it's not about skill set; it's about just variety. Oh, it's a new person versus it's a good person. And I get the the Lil Yachty, and it's not about lyrics and stuff like that and they would just want to have fun because that's what all rappers wanted to do. Ultimately, when they first started out, even in the 90s, it was about having fun, and everybody has fun. Different generations have fun in different ways. Yeah, and then I feel like from just his little statement of like, chill, was really just that. Was just like I'm not really
I'm 19,
trying to make history. I just I'm having fun and it's working.
So why mess with And it's like you can't critique everything. I mean, but that's the thing that I guess some Generation X people might do, critique every aspect of what somebody's doing that's younger. And it's kind of like, well, when we were young, we didn't want nobody critiquing what we were doing. We were just being young and doing us.
So that brings us to, I feel like, the question of, is Generation X still having fun?
Oh, damn. Why you have to go there?
Because think about it. An argument always comes from a place of like,
you feel like you have to fight and you're playing in a unfair.
I think a lot of Generation Xers aren't having as much fun as they used to just because of the reality of life. Mm-hmm. Whether we are old enough to have kids and all that kind of stuff, and it's like once reality hits, then you don't technically have as much fun. But as creatives, which is what this is all about, we definitely have to keep that. We have to keep that part of us, that creative side that doesn't have an age, so we can look at the world in an optimistic way versus like, no, that's not good. You should do, so I think.
So why would we do that to the millennials then?
I ain't doing it.
I know you're not, but that's why this is a great conversation.
But I think, to me, in my opinion, I think sometimes it is thinly veiled, not hate, but envy. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that Joe Budden is envious of Lil Yachty or Migos, but it's like, to me, there's also an element of, if I had that success, I would do with it. I would do this with it, but it's kind of like if you were that young, you would do the same thing he's doing.
You don't feel like the generation before X was looking at you guys like that?
Right, they were, because the hip hop just is like, oh, that's noise. What is hip hop? That ain't gonna last.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but that's what it is. The younger version of us are change makers, and I get it. It's okay.
No, but same thing though, because you guys kind of created the foundation for this to be possible. And that's another reason I never really understand what the argument is. Because me personally, as a millennial, I wish somebody would sit with me and be like, oh, this is A, B, C, and D, so I can pick up from D and do something else.
You don't have to start from scratch.
Yeah, like millennials, I feel like we have so much information and so much thrown at us and so much accessible to us that we don't know what's right, what's wrong, what's history, what's fake, everybody's a philosopher. Everybody's giving advice. Everybody's like,
without no degree, it's kind of like, why am I listening to you again?
Right. And
I feel like there has to be somewhat of a balance then. We get that the world is millennials, Generation Z, the world is yours.
And ultimately. I feel like my generation, millennials, really should be looked at as like innovators, because we were like the last ones to have the best of both worlds. Like, I didn't grow up with an iPad in my hand. Right. I did.
There was some human
write
contact.
My ABCs. I did do that stuff.
And that's not going to happen anymore.
That's not going to happen anymore. Like, my little cousins, they're like 2-3 years old with iPads.
They don't know their alphabet. They don't have to remember no numbers.
But they can tell you how to get into the game, how to win the game. Like, yeah.
So the game has changed. So
if we play it right at this time, I feel like this could be the glue, this is the perfect time for it to be the glue.
This is the best collaboration. Hey, Bobby. Sorry, I'm just,
You can close the door.
No, I want to kind of see that too.
Oh, okay.
But unless it's something that you need to kind of do at this moment, you can go to the bedroom, and there's a light to your right. It's kind of dark in it. All the way to your right on that side. Through the clothes. But, for a minute, then it kind of got a little distracting. Yeah. But, so what you're saying is that this is the perfect team made in heaven then.
Yes.
If we were to look at it that way, as opposed to seeing it as, oh, you don't know what I know more. I'm the golden era. You're not. Listen to me. I ain't listening to you. It's kind of like, okay.
Because I know stuff you don't know, and you know stuff that I don't know. Right.
So how can we work together and create something better and make each other
And when
stronger?
It does happen, because we've seen it happen, but just it's very few and far in between. But when it does happen, you really see the magic of it.
Right.
Like,
what an example of it?
Well, you just said a good one. Everyday Struggle was an instant hit for that reason. Joe Budden had the grown voice, and then Academics had the millennial voice. Right. And the stuff that Academics didn't know, Joe knew, and the perspective Academics had, Joe didn't have. Right. And that's why they used to butt heads, and that's why. But it was great. That was that's why I watched it. Right. You know what I mean? Because I learned a lot. And I agreed with a lot, and I disagreed with it's
which is fine. I think what happens now is a lot of times people think it's not okay to disagree.
Yeah.
You can disagree, and it's fine, and I still respect you, and that's your perspective. And the world ain't gonna end tomorrow, and we can go on and be friends and have a martini or whatever the fuck. Yeah. I feel
like someone should come up with the creative commandments,
the creative commandments. I like that idea.
You know what I mean? Just rules, like, you know, or just not even rules, but like understanding, you know what I mean? Like,
and the thing is that typically that's something that creatives are very understanding, and it's just weird that but we aren't understanding with some creatives, you know. We kind of want people to understand us.
It's like, if you don't work in my world,
right, this is how I work, right? And it's kind of like, well, you know, but we have to, you know, we have to give and take, you know. You know, we can't just be in our own little world and expect people to accept us and not accept other people,
exactly,
and accept our process.
It goes both ways,
right? Because it's, you know, Lil Yachty's, you know, perspective and his process is a valid creative perspective that is working for him.
Another person I think I mentioned was Uncle Murda. Like, he's Generation X.
Right. East New York.
Right. East New York. Yeah, so he's Generation X, but he's found a way and found a lane where we're listening to him. Right. You know what I mean? That wrap up, we wait for that. Like, we're like, and any millennial tries to come up with a wrap up, is like, meh. Right. You know? And it's because it's his perspective.
Right. Like, so he's somewhat embraced, I think, this world. And that's what is that what it's about? It's kind of like Nori with Drink Champs. I love it. Just embracing the technology and where we are now. Yeah, and, and adding value to it versus saying that ain't gonna work.
Because you can't deny it. It's there.
And it's gonna be there whether you like it or not. Right. We can't do nothing about
it. Whether we like it or not. Because I'm telling you, most millennials, like, I do this social media stuff. Yeah, like, I do the social media stuff as a job. Like, it's really just me branding myself or me branding other people. That's what it is now. It's not like, oh, look at my dog. Like,
It's all strategic now. It has to be strategic.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not into this. We know it. We understand it. But it's not. It's just, it's like currency. Likes are like currency.
So it's kind of like, so now Generation Z is becoming who you guys were. So it's not a novelty now to be on social media and to just do it now. It's kind of, at least some millennials, is a strategy on how to build followers, how to build value, how to build your brand. Even if you don't have a business, even if you don't know what the brand is. You know that we are our own brand. We are our brand.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people getting, you know,
and there's so much freedom in that too. So why do we focus on the... Like, no, I want that. I want to look like that, or whatever. Like, there's so you could, when you realize you're a brand and it's everything, it's what you do that builds that brand. Like, it's effortless.
Like, there's a value in just being you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have the opportunity to sit on your phone and create a voice. Like,
that's mind-boggling.
Yeah,
and it's kind of scary.
Anybody though.
But that's the thing.
My grandma could do it.
Right. That's scary because it's kind of like it. You know, not having limits is great.
Yeah.
But not having limits isn't also great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because some people need boundaries. Some people need you know,
quality control.
Right. Quality control. Some people need to be in a box because, you know, some people don't know how to, you know, set their own boundaries, and some people, you know, they don't have certain controls in place.
Right.
You know, so now is it the Wild Wild West right now?
It is. I feel like it is, but...
You like the Wild Wild West?
Not really. I just understand that cash rules everything around me.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Like, you know what I mean?
Staten Island over here.
Right. So, like, I understand that this is a game. You know what I mean? This is a playing field. So, if you're not building your value, then you better come with some sort of... You can pay for your value, or you can create your value.
So what's up with that paying for the value? A lot of people pay for their value. And just like, does it matter if someone pays for their value versus they build their own value? It doesn't matter anymore now because so many people are cheating. So
I think similar, because I was here when you had another conversation. So similar to what you guys were saying, there's the creative, and then there's the hustler.
Right.
When those two come together, and I feel like Generation X ultimately should play the hustler role now. You know what I mean? Like,
right, we have to. I mean, that's ultimately what we're forced to be, the hustler.
Yeah, but it's not a bad thing. Like, think about it. If we understand, like, us as millennials, if we understand the platform, or a lot of millennials own these platforms, right? And you guys have been around long enough to have the money and the understanding and the life experience. Imagine those two coming together. That's magic. Right. Like, that's all you need, you know? And when it does, and you've seen it over and over, it works. Like,
and a lot of
you just got to let go of that ego a little bit. I mean, both ways.
I mean, but both ways. Yeah. And also having the foresight. There's some, you know, OGs or Generation X cats, whether it's Diddy or Jay, that has the vision to know who to surround themselves with, you know, so they win. and have that balance.
Yeah, like we still want to be co-signed by the exes. Like
we still want to be co-signed by the exes.
We do. Like we want your respect. We work for. That's what we want.
Right.
You know. So that's why I feel like when people are just like, we don't get it. Like you guys just do everything and you just take the camera and you do.
So millennials are misunderstood.
Yeah, I feel like we are. Yeah, I feel like we're looked at as like people who don't work hard and just get like, you know, it's a free for all. It's not a free for all.
And I think that what's tied to that is the fact that, you know, somewhat Generation
X. Just the hustle looks different now.
The hustle looks different, but we had to kind of work so much harder because the information wasn't there. So a part of that, we have to get the information, which would work. Now the information is just there.
But so now the work is sifting through the information.
Right. So the work is just different. It's still there. You know, so just like our parents before me, you know, thought I had it easy.
Right.
You know, I didn't think I have it. Now I think you have it. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's all different. It's different packages, but everybody has their own challenges.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, we just have to respect, you know, each other's journey, each other's challenges, and, you know, understand that ultimately we all want to create and create something.
And I think as we go along, like, us as people in general just get freer and freer, you know, and we can get into a whole deep thing about, like, Trump and all that stuff. We get that all, but I truly believe even bad things, like, bring expansion, you know?
Right.
And
net neutrality is going to bring expansion.
That's back to the whole cash thing. Like, you
we'll
know,
have the cash rules everything around.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's how they're trying to control it. It's like, oh no, you know, why do you have to know the same information?
Right. And you got more money, so you should know more information and get more information.
Crazy.
Right. Like, it is crazy. It's kind of
You
know. So what do you think about this? We know that this is the thing that
why that's crazy too, and why I feel like how is that going to work is because, again, like you said, why do I have to, like, I have the money, I should know more.
Right.
But I don't have money, I'm creating more.
Right.
So you're trying to, like, unless you're trying to buy what I'm creating, what are you doing net neutrality? Like, what are you trying to, we create
you trying to, they want to charge for the access.
We made these internet rules.
But they want to charge for the access.
Yeah. You know? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't.
I remember, like, I have.
But everything gets controlled, like, and then we're going to get it all bootlegged, and that's it.
Right,
that's
we always
life.
Figure a way.
That's life. Like, we're very resourceful.
In the last conversation, I was having a conversation about the phone and just what the power that it has, that everything is in here. And we talked about social media and, you know, the avatar of Instagram and Facebook, and the fact that this is also a person. In addition to us being a person, a breathing person, this is also a living person that is still alive when you put it down. And is this the Matrix? Should we succumb to it?
Yeah.
Should we step away from it? Should we unplug?
You definitely, I feel like, need a balance. Like, the internet has a lot of noise. Like, I've literally, the end of last year, I feel like I took as much as I could while keeping the boat afloat, like, I tried to take a media cleanse because it's just so much, like you put it, noise. Like, it's just like, I don't even know if I'm doing good because I see like all this stuff. Like,
you don't even know if you know you because you've seen so many iterations
like,
of everybody else. Am I
just a product of all this stuff? And you are.
And the thing is if that stuff that you're seeing from it, is that even true? So that's where this line is being drawn, truth versus somebody else's truth. You know, to me, there's absolute truth. There's truth. There's not my truth and your truth and his truth and Trump's truth. It's like there's the truth. But that line has been blurred.
Yeah.
You know, and debatable.
Because you could only see from your eyes, like.
Right, but truth to me, truth wasn't supposed to be debatable.
When wasn't it supposed to be debatable? Because it's been debatable since the beginning of time.
That's true.
You know?
And now it's
stuff in the Bible, people like, nah. You know?
Let's
come out the Quran, or let's come out with
I like this part, I don't like that part. Like, oh yeah, this part is true. No, that part, no, I don't want, you know, so.
Yeah.
But has that gotten us here?
Yeah.
In the bad place. In a place where we really don't know if we're coming or going. We're being attacked from all sides. We don't know what is what.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of confusion.
Yeah. Like, I wish we could have legitimately an aerial view of life. Because then we would see, like, a bigger picture. You know what I mean?
That would be great.
You know? Like,
that's the best view, like, when you're watching a basketball game.
Exactly. Because then you see the whole thing. Because I don't know if it's a bad time. I can't tell you.
You see all the pieces moving. You see the pieces that are over there that didn't even get here yet.
Right.
I feel like it's bad. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have a course correct and we're going to be smarter after the madness or not. But
I think so.
That's good. That's the millennial thing.
I think people. Yeah.
Millennials are very optimistic.
Yeah, because we just believe.
Pessimistic.
I feel like we just believe we're allowed. Like, I mean, everyone's allowed to believe in themselves, but we were taught to be allowed to believe in ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we were taught to do what we want to do. Figure it out. That's what me. One day I'm gonna be whatever I need to be. I'm gonna fit the puzzle however I need to fit it and maximize and make it work for me.
Right.
And I feel like as humans, that's what we do. You go to a car salesman. He's not gonna sell you the car. I heard this metaphor before, so quote. You go to a car salesman. He's not gonna sell you the car that's best for you.
Right.
He's gonna sell you the car that's best for him to sell to you. You know, and that's where the two truths come. You see.
That's where the two truths come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I buy that.
Yeah.
Is it truth or is that his truth? Because he knows it's not true. No, he knows it's not true.
No, he doesn't know what you've been through and why you need a car and where
you know that this car, you can't afford this car. And that you can afford that car. And this car is actually a better value than that car. He knows that.
Does, but value is a thing. You know what I mean?
It's a subjective thing?
Yeah, it's a subjective thing. Like, I know somebody who will walk in and want somebody to offer them the Audi. I know somebody who wants the Tesla. Like, value is a different thing. I want it to be energy saving. I want it to be, whatever. Like, cheap. I want it, whatever value is to you is different. And once we accept that everybody has different values, you start to just follow your own instinct.
And that's ultimately what it is. Everybody has, I think it's just becoming more apparent. That everybody has different values.
Yes.
And
it's a lot more obvious now because everyone has a voice. Yes.
Right. So everybody has their voice and they're speaking their voice.
Right.
Out in public.
Yeah. So
you get to see what people value.
Right.
And you see that there's a lot of people that don't value what you value.
Yes. Yes. Well put. Okay. Yeah, so what else? Do you have any questions from the X side?
The X side, I think a part of it is also just being, being able to reflect on your journey and like, man, I wish I was a millennial, knowing what I know now, which is never going to happen. I think.
You can though. You are. Right. You're one of the great examples of that. Like you take it and being a director now looks a lot different than being a director 10 years ago. Right. And
so being able to press that reset button.
Yeah.
But I always love the fact that I had one foot in this OG, whatever that is, and in this new digital age. So I think everybody doesn't, receive that.
Yeah.
So that's where the push and the pull come. But like you said, I think this is a great. Everybody has the ability to press the reset button and reinvent themselves, rebrand themselves, look at things differently, knowing what they know, but it's up to them to make that decision or not.
I feel like people should focus more on trusting themselves opposed to looking at what other people are doing.
And, that's totally contrary
that's
to
what exactly
that's turning this off.
Exactly. And that's what I feel. Your true, if you want to really get to your true purpose and your true, I feel like purpose. Again, if we had an aerial view, your purpose, you think your purpose is whatever your goal is and how to get there, right? As I grow up, I realize, and when you go through experiences and all this stuff, I realize that your purpose, you need other people to do what they're doing so that your purpose makes sense. Does that make sense?
Totally sense.
Yeah.
It's like your gift isn't for you, it's for someone else.
Yeah.
So if you don't do what you have to do.
I truly now believe that we create these goals in our head, which, we can get deep again, but we create these goals in our head so that we have a path to set these appointments with other people and affect other people and so and so and so.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like once you master that, I feel like none of that other stuff matters. Like
I think once you master that and once you are okay with that, once you kind of let go,
like play your role,
and not try to control everything, and then understand it is a journey, and that you're not going to get to that destination right now, but you're going to go through this journey. You're going to meet that person. You need to meet that person. You need to meet that person before you get there. And when you get there, it's going to be even that much more sweeter because of those relationships and the things that you went through.
Yeah.